Web Radio and Bright House Network's Channel 10 present the Bright House Network's High School Football Game of the Week.
Well, a very good evening, Kern County. What a beautiful night. We are on the east side. Look at those letters, EB, East Bakersfield. You're watching Bright House Network's High School Football Game of the Week, an entire football game exclusively shown to you by Bright House Network's East High School, homecoming, hosting North High School, two old schools in the new era of football. What a beautiful sight tonight. I'll tell you what, I've got my partner Matt Alvarez up on the scissor lifts with me. Down on the grass is our captain, Brian Adams. As always, we will start on the grass. Captain, as I'm walking in here tonight, I'm seeing Harley Davidsons. I'm seeing huge model airplanes. I'm seeing the Army. I'm seeing a huge American flag, homecoming floats. Hey, baby, this is it. We're at East High.
You know, Vance, they're very excited for Bright House to be out here. You know, tonight they want to come out and put on a show. We didn't get a chance a few weeks ago to do North High, so now we're going to get a chance to get North High. And I ran to a man at work, Vance, who talked about we have to put North High on. He said, you know, take away BHS in that group, that North High is the best of the rest. So we'll see tonight, fellas.
Let's bring in our partner, Matt Alvarez, up on these scissor lifts. Matt, you grew up on the east side, went to Foothill, but this is your neck of the woods as well. Nice football game tonight. The East High Blades, new coach Dave Thorpe. He's got Rick Van Horn down there with him. Ty Silver over there at North High. A lot of familiar Kern County football names at two very familiar old schools.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can't help but have a lot of respect for both these schools. Obviously, Ty Silver in his first year over at North, Dave Thorpe in his first year over at East. So you know you've got youth football teams that are filled with a lot of youth tonight, especially East High. And I had a lot of respect for both of these schools growing up. I mean, just the programs that they have and the supporters that they have, it's definitely it's going to be a great game tonight, Vance, and I'm looking forward to calling it with you.
Homecoming 2001, East High will kick off, North High will receive. The left-footed boot puts it up in the air, and it's taken at the 3-yard line. Here we go. We're underway on Bright House Networks. Ooh, and a big hit to start things off at the 25-yard line. So we'll get a look at this North High School squad. You know, we had the game canceled due to lightning. Was it Golden Valley was at North High, and we were about to go up on the scissor lifts, and that whole night was canceled across Kern County, and the games had to be replayed on a Saturday. I don't believe North Golden Valley was even replayed. It was just
no. They called it a no decision.
Right.
So you know, North and Golden Valley. The way that Golden Valley has been playing the last couple of weeks, though, Vance, it looks like it could have been a victory for North. So let's see how they come out early here in this game.
Austin Howard behind center, an I formation. Here comes North High. It's an end around, doesn't get anywhere, maybe a yard, maybe 2 yards. You know, Brian, tonight is, I was driving down 58 to get on Mount Vernon, and I'm looking off to the north. This is a vintage Friday Night Lights tonight. There are football games going on all over here on the east side tonight.
You know, it definitely is, Vance. And, you know, I was coming up and I was telling Anton, my young cousin, about, you know, usually we can find a parking spot, but tonight I had to go like deep into the east side to find a spot. We had to hike up a couple of hills, so they're excited. A lot of going on tonight, a lot of action, and let's see what North High can do.
2nd and 12, they go up the middle, grab a couple of yards. Well, I found my favorite little spot still available, and I'm not going to mention it on the air because Lee Vasquez has now promoted John Rose and Arvin Bear to assistant principal, Stephen Metler, dean of students at East High School. There's one of the police officers from Arvin, so a lot of Arvin blood tonight. That's how I got that great parking spot. We'll leave it at that, Matt.
That's all right, Vance. I don't need
Where'd
to
you
know
park?
I had to park, well, let's say on the far east side. If we're on the east side, I had to park on the far east side, use my legs, Chevrolet legs.
I'll get you out of here. 3rd and 10 for the Stars. Howard drops back, takes a look, rolls to his right. He's in trouble. Thrown for a big loss. Fumble, fumble, fumble.
Yeah, it looks like they may have called him down on on the quarterback sack there. But, boy, East has done a very good job thus far in these first 3 opening plays of just staying home. The opening reverse, you had number 22, Hector Sherman. He just stays home. And East has not been penetrated at all in this drive, and looks like it's going to be a 4th and 17 about for North High. So great opening defensive stand for the East High Blades as you see the helicopters leaving KMC in the foreground here, Vance.
Tanner Vieira standing at the 50-yard line. Perfect deep snap. They go for it, almost get a hand on it. Vieira's going to try to do a return here. No fair catch. Wants to get to the right side. Nice job by North High School. They gang tackle him about the 46-yard line. So once again, if you're just getting to your televisions, I'm Vance Palm, joined by Matt Alvarez up here high on the scissor lift. Down on the grass, our captain, Brian Adams. We are at East Bakersfield High School, a distinguished high school here in Kern County, and they've done a lot of renovating, upgrading, just a beautiful campus, and again, one of the best views we get in calling a football game. We're looking out across the city, and here come the Blades on their first play from the line of scrimmage.
Well, it's Marcus Rojas, rather. The quarterback rolls out to the right, looks for his man, finds his man, and it's caught by number 3, Andrew Ramirez. Looks like it's going to be close to the first down marker. They're going to stop the clock. And it is going to be a first down. So great job by Rojas. You see rolling out. You know, Rojas had some trouble last week, Vance. He threw 7 interceptions. And when you think of somebody throwing 7 interceptions, you got to think it was a blowout, right, by the other team. They played Foothill. Rojas threw 7 interceptions. They only lost by 6. So that is a credit to East defense right there, as we saw East defense on the opening drive.
As Matt said, on their first play, they picked up a first down, so now they'll send Beasley in motion. They give it to Beasley. Beasley finds a seam, gets through the seam, and picks up another 9 yards there. So the Blades doing well on defense, and now they're chomping up some ground on offense. That's bringing up 2nd and short.
You see Hector Sherman again. I mean, he did pretty well in that first opening defensive series, and then you see on the replay here, number 22, just the kick-out block right there. The kick-out block to open up the lane for Beasley. And Beasley able to get, they got away with a face mask there, Vance, and Beasley able to pick up 9 yards on the play.
2nd and 1. The handoff goes to Vieira, and he picks up the first down. Head coach Dave Thorpe, you know him well. Tell us about Coach Thorpe.
Yeah, Coach Thorpe has coached at BC for a number of years. As a matter of fact, it was like a BC coaches reunion. You know, right below us is Coach Silver. His son is Cy Silver, the head coach of North High School. On the far side is Reggie Bolton, assistant coach for Bakersfield College, as well as Chad Hathaway, assistant kicking coach. I mean, it's a BC coaches reunion down there.
This community, obviously very close-knit, tight football community, tight in every sport, all close-knit in all sports, but football during the fall, you see a lot of familiar faces. Vieira off to the left side, runs, cuts up, makes a nice cut, another nice cut, looking for the end zone, touchdown for the homecoming crowd.
Well, Tanner Vieira showing that he's got some legs early here, Vance. And, you know, if the way East defense has started off this game with the 3 and out against North High's offense and the way they were able to move the ball, let's just hope that this one doesn't get out of hand early, because they moved the ball without any opposition, seemingly, as E.J. Rodriguez, one of the Alvarez kicking school clients, is set to kick the extra point here.
Well, that didn't take long, Brian. That didn't take long.
I have to keep my mouth shut tonight, Vance, because, you know, last night we took a shellacking by those Wildcats.
Well, we'll get to that later in the game for a lot of reasons.
Rick Van Horn.
Coach Van Horn.
Oh, yeah. Prominent coach here in the Kern County area. Coached the Bakersfield Blitz for the duration of their existence. And here you see the touchdown run. Vieira getting great blocks downfield. Look at the block by the lineman. I think that's number 75, Adrian Adami. And he got congratulated by Coach Thorpe on the sidelines. That really opened up a hole for Vieira to flow through for the touchdown.
7-0 as we are underway here at East Bakersfield High School. The Blades have a homecoming game here tonight, and we always seem to get very, very fortunate. We're able to pick up a lot of homecoming games as we canvass the county here in the fall. Our director tonight is the Godfather, Zachary Flores. And what a sight it is tonight. A lot of floats, a Humvee, there's a tank, all-purpose vehicle over there for the U.S. Army. It'll be a big night. Here comes the kickoff. Strong boot. Wow. So, EJ, wow, big boot. So let's see if North High can get something going here.
Yeah, EJ was one of those kids that we had the privilege of working with over this summer. Him and Brady Wiley as well. Brady's East High's punter, Coach Thorpe, taking over in his first year, decided to send him to my dad, and I had the privilege of working with them as well in the summer. And both of those kids have very strong legs, and look forward to seeing them playing at the next level. But first things first, EJ, I believe, is just a junior. Oh, no, EJ's a senior, but Brady Wiley, he's a junior for sure, and you'll see him if East ever does punt tonight.
Howard lines them up, spreads them across the line of scrimmage, has one back with him. They're going to go on the ground. It's the handoff to the right side. Not a bad play, picks up 4 or 5 yards.
Well, simple offense for North as they just try to bully their way up the middle. And, yeah, gain of 5 yards, like you said, Van. So that's more than they gained on their last series put together. So 2nd and 5 here, upcoming for the Stars.
Is Coach Silver up on top of the box?
Coach Silver's actually right here at the 15-yard
line.
No,
his son.
Oh, his son. Is Cy Silver up on the box? I think Cy's on the sideline.
Is he? Nice move right here, and a good-looking run. It's about a 5-yard pickup. It's going to be third and short.
He's pulling a Chudy, Vance. He's going to sit up in the press box for this game.
For him. Matt referring to the head coach of Bakersfield College, who had a couple of ailments he had to work through and called a couple of big wins from up top right next to Kirk Boyer. Now here's a nice look at that in our instant replay. A good run out there by Brody Smith. We know that name, Brody Smith. 3rd and 1. See what they can come up with here. I would say an early game important 3rd and 1, I formation. Here come the linebackers for East, and there's movement and there's a whistle, and I think maybe those blades got a little antsy up on that line.
Hey, it's going to be a false start though, Vance. This one's going to go against the Stars. Going to move them back 5 yards, and boy, early mistakes, especially when you have a drive that went the way that the first one did for North. You want to try to get every advantage you can, and now it moves a 3rd and 1 back to a 3rd and 6. So North already looking at a big first down here as Les Huber, the referee, made the call. The umpire, Leonard Ramos. The head linesman, Steve Arrow. The line judge, Jack Turner. The back judge, Brian Landis. And on the box is Rob Guyton. All members of the Kern County Officials Association. If you'd like to be a member, visit their website, kcoa.org.
Getting ready for basketball season. 3rd and 6. Let's see what the Stars can do. Hard count, and the back official.
Right, yeah.
Wow. Way in the back, standing on the EB logo.
And I think that was, they're going to call it false start again.
He must have seen something that.
And Coach Silver can't be happy about that. I mean, 2 false start penalties in a row. Those are just mental mistakes. All you have to do is just look at the ball. I mean, I'd love to know who they called it on. If it was a wide receiver, you're taught to look at the ball. If it's a lineman, you have to know the snap count.
Don't get Brian started. Don't get him going. 3rd and 10. Handoff, and that's a nice big run right here. Boy, they answer the call. What's nice to see, Brian. 2 5-yard penalties, and they answer with a nice 12-yard jaunt right up the middle.
Yeah, great job. Great blocking right there at the point of attack, and then Brody Smith did a great job of reading the blocks and accelerating through the hole and picking up a first down, Vance.
Yeah, look at the pulling guard, number 77, Walter Baker. He came like a bat out of you-know-where, and he filled that hole, and he took out the lead defender, enabling North to pick up a first down at the 36-yard line.
Where is that you-know-where? 1st and 10, under 6. They go to the ground again. This time, that front for EB meets him, gets about a yard. A lot of hard hitting. You can hear the pops up here.
Man on the scene was number 51, Jerry Lopez for the Blades. He stands at 5'11" and $195. He was the one that filled the hole first, took him down at the legs. Gain of 1 or 2 on the, looks like gain of 1 on the play, Vance.
We'll dip below the 5-minute mark here in the first quarter. You're watching Bright House Network's high school football game of the week. Strong right side for North High on a 2nd and 9, I formation. Handoff to the right side. Hand it off to Brody Smith again. Picks up 1 or 2 yards. You know, Brian, over the years, as we have a blade down on the ground, grimacing in pain right now, writhing in pain, and he is not moving. I didn't get a number, Matt. Can't see a number from here.
Looks like an 8. I don't want to speculate here, Vance, so we'll see what we can see. Hopefully he gets up to his feet here pretty quickly.
Doggone it. As they attend to him, Brian, I was going to say that we've covered a lot of memorable games here. A couple of them that stand out in my mind. First of all, Andre Smith, he had a game here one night. It seemed like every time he touched the ball, remember it was like a 50-yard carry every time he touched it.
Well, you remember, Vance, he did that, and then Leandre Matthews did the same thing when we come here.
You're right.
And then we came and we saw 50 from Garces, who's now at BC, Jalen
Sykes.
And remember, that's the game he touched it. It was on 50 yards every time, so this tends to be the field that you get a lot of big runs at.
I remember that, too. Jalen out of Sykes had about 400 yards here one night, too. And we've had some very memorable games. Then we also called a game here between Garces and I think it was Garces and East. And the third quarter lasted 93 minutes. Remember, Paul Press was calling the game with us in. And
yes.
Paul was up here yawning every other play. We had a long, like a 4.5-hour game. That's some memorable games up here. 3rd and 6. Look out from the backside. He's in trouble. Gets rid of it. It's caught. Nice pass, nice catch, and a very late flag comes in from the back official.
I think that might be pass interference, fans. It looks like number 85, Johnny Ortiz, got there just a little before the pass, as you see on the replay. Yeah, he had him wrapped up just before the pass was caught, and they're going to call pass interference, but they're calling it against the offense.
Oh, boy.
They're calling it against North.
That back official.
You know, the only thing that I could think that happened, Brian, in this instance was that maybe a pick was drawn by the North High offense, by a receiver.
Maybe that, or maybe he threw it in the backfield, deep in the field, so maybe it was one of the other routes. Lost it down, so.
Yeah, that's one you don't see very often, is offensive pass interference, but it does happen. And it is going to be 4th. And, oh, boy. I'm not a math major, Vance. That looks like about 4th and 20.
Now, how can you calculate punts and you can't calculate that?
Well,
I'll get into that later, Brian.
Our faithful Bright House crowd already knows that I am the mathematician of the deal.
That knuckleball right there.
As the boys in the truck are cracking a joke, they're laughing. All right, not a bad punt, but Eastside will get it in pretty good territory. We saw some good things from the North Stars there, but we also saw some aggravated things from the Stars.
Yeah, the penalties, 2 false start penalties, the pass interference penalty that really shot themselves in the foot, and they could have had this drive prolonged for a little bit.
And, you know, fellas, you know, one of the things, too, when you talk about these penalties, and we watched a few games this year, these penalties have killed some good drives by some decent teams because they just get these penalties that, you know, just thwart their drives and move them back. And every once in a while, you get a team that can overcome them like Ridgeview, but most of the time teams cannot.
Rojas hands to Vieira. So chew up some big yards on the first play from the line of scrimmage. I think his forward progress took him past the first down marker. Yep, they're giving it the 1 already. So first play from the line of scrimmage here. And Brian, you're right, and we've seen it in a couple of games here, some crucial penalties at crucial times. Now for the Stars, it's early, not as devastating, but when you're trying to build momentum in the first quarter, you're trying to answer on a touchdown that was scored against you pretty quickly. One thing that can just really slow it down is a penalty. 1st and 10 again for the Blades. They're on the North 47-yard line. And it's going to be Rojas in the shotgun. Fires one across the middle, and it is deflected and almost picked off out there by Alan Guardado.
This will bring up a 2nd and 10 here for East after picking up the first down. And We haven't seen East go to the air much tonight. Been pretty reluctant to go to the air, but they kept it on the ground with Tanner Vieira. They've handed it off as well. They've kept it with Marcus Rojas, the quarterback, so let's see what they do here on 2nd and 10.
Vieira, the lone back, stands behind them. There's the pitch. They go to the left side, looking for some downfield blocking. Nice job by that North defense. Stayed patient, strung it out, and got the tackle.
You don't have to worry about the air. We have Air Van Horn over there calling plays like Air Coryell back in the 80s. So the ball will go in the air eventually.
Walking up behind Brian, another Steve Metler, not the Steve Metler that's the Dean of Students that went to Arvin, the other Steve Metler, the heralded, much sought after band director at West High School, took over from Mike Bone. They went from Mike Bone to Steve Metler. Didn't skip a beat. Now he is the Dean of Students at North High School. They go over to the right side. It's Beasley. Beasley hit hard, picked up and thrown down. Nice tackle out there. A big tackle by John Mello.
And that might be a first down saving tackle by Mello. As you see, the pass floated in a little high, and Beasley had to jump to catch it. And I think that Beasley, all 6'3", 180 pounds of him, if Beasley didn't have to jump up in the air, he could have motored his way possibly for a first down. He's short by a yard, though. But it looks like East may go for it here on the 38-yard line.
4th and 1. 4th down territory, if you will. Never know. Rojas might decide to go right up the middle. Nobody's in front of the center. Nobody. Let's see what he does. No. They go to Vieira. Vieira's hit hard, but I think he's going to plow his way forward. Boy, they had a chance to stop him, but he got through.
Let's see what the official call will be. You see Coach Thorpe over there on the far sideline motioning for the first down, but it all depends on what the head referee says. He's looking over and he's going to call for a measurement.
The EB players are saying first down. The officials are saying step back a little bit. Hey, big game tonight, Bellas. Bakersfield High School. Frontier, is that right?
Yeah, that's not a big game.
Matt says not a big game.
No. That's why we're not doing it, Vance.
Well, you guys called Frontier and
Frontier and Ridgeview.
Right.
You weren't there for that one.
Right. So I'm hearing all the hyperbole that I thought it was a well-played football game, exciting football game, but no match for the Drillers.
No.
Why not a big game?
Because Bakersfield High School they're in a different league right now. As East is credited with the first down here, but Bakersfield High School is in. They're men amongst boys right now in the Central section. I mean, they're unstoppable. They haven't even been challenged in a game yet, Vance, and we're already, a week or two into league season. I think the biggest challenge that they'll get is in 2 weeks when DJ Martin comes back and they play Stockdale. Now that will be a game to tune into.
So you just think it's easy to come out when you expected to win and just every night beat people by 21?
Well, they do.
1st and 10, nice little float pass across the middle, and it's taken and it's caught out there by Johnny Ortiz. So nice play call there on a 1st and 10. They pick up about 22, 23 yards. Let's talk about that point, Brian. Hey, sometimes it's lonely at the top, when you've got to come out every night, every game and perform. Somehow Coach Golo's getting them able to do it this year.
Well, I think this year, one thing they didn't have the schedule they've had the past couple of years, where they've played some real juggernauts early in the season. And sometimes when you're playing these lower level teams, you're not ready when you get a decent team like Frontier. Frontier, I wouldn't say is the best team there, but they're capable of pulling the upset if they play right.
We saw it last year. Centennial was expected to pretty much just pound everybody, and then Liberty pulls the rabbit out of the hat at the very end of the game. And, Centennial shouldn't have been in that position, so to speak, but they were, and it happened. Never know. We'll see what happens.
In regards to their schedule, Brian, though, they did schedule the best ranked team in the state of Utah. Now, considering we haven't
from where?
In the state of Utah, but
from
we
Utah.
We haven't followed up on it, though.
Because Utah has a history of great high school football.
I wouldn't know, to be honest with you.
I mean, when I watch ESPN on Saturday, they talk about Texas, Florida, and then Utah's number 3.
I think,
come on,
I would
man.
think California's number 3, right?
No, come on, Utah.
Well,
if I hear the best in a state, I'm going to assume that they're a pretty good team and that they can hang with anybody. However, we haven't followed up on the Utah team. I don't know how they're doing this year.
I don't care if they beat every team in Utah.
So are you discrediting football in Utah and in Wisconsin and in Montana and Maine?
It took you a while to get there, Matt, but yes, he was discrediting football in Utah.
So the only football that matters is in California, Texas, and Florida.
Next time you check LSU's roster, I want you to tell me how many people from Utah are on that team.
Taking out my iPhone right now, Vance.
You can.
Get the iPhone out right now.
And then tell me if he starts.
Yes. Bright House would like to issue our apology to our
next
viewers
Friday night. Bright House Networks will be in Salt Lake.
You don't have to apologize for me.
Second and 9, 149. EB trying to make something happen. A direct snap to Thierry. Takes it, gets 3, 4, 5 yards, possibly. Well, the word on the street is that Bright House Networks has talked about making the commitment to that game 2 weeks from tonight. Bakersfield High School and Stockdale. Where's that game being played? Anybody know?
I believe it's at Stockdale.
That's Stockdale, I think.
Out on the west side, DJ Martin returns, and the Mustangs will play host to the vaunted Drillers. That ought to be fun. Drop back here, a fire. Almost what a catch. I called it prematurely. I thought Andrew Ramirez was going to pull that in, and now it brings up a 4th and 7. So after all of that yardage that they picked up and a big first down, a couple of big first downs, they find themselves on a 4th and 7.
Yeah, now they're going to try to get a field goal. And just some clarification, I do agree with you, Matt, about the Drillers. I think they are superior. I think this is an opportunity for them to run the table. But it's just difficult when you're like that because every week you're not going to be at your best. And you just hate for them to have a down game, if you're a Driller fan, against a team with Frontier who's capable of doing some things.
Well, interesting situation here. Penalty flag before the ball goes up, and it was wide left. Oh.
Thank goodness for that.
It was wide left.
And Rick's going to want to go for it if you move the ball up 5 more yards.
Yep, that is frustrating, because now it's 4th and 2 instead of a 4th and 7, but they keep the kicker out there. Dare we say fake kick? Great, Brian. Now I've lost my co-host up here because he's on his phone trying to find out Utah players on LSU's roster. Great.
There are none. They're all from Louisiana.
Go to Texas.
No,
try
they're
Oklahoma.
all from Louisiana.
Oklahoma's close.
The field goal is up. Hey, try this out for size. Why don't you come back and announce this game with me? The field goal is good.
At halftime, go to Oklahoma, go to top. Now, Boise might have a couple.
Boise's a legitimate squad, right?
If Boise was in the Big 12, the SEC, we would not be talking about them.
The score is 10-0.
That's a rough argument right there.
East High School leads with a touchdown and a field goal. A buck is left exactly on the clock here, 60 seconds in this first quarter. North High's had some opportunities. They haven't been able to keep progressing down the football field. They haven't been past the 40-yard line in Blade territory yet, but they've got some good plays under their belt. Let's just see if they can get something rolling here. We've had an interesting first quarter discussion about front runners being at the top, being prepared, and not getting complacent. The Drillers tonight at Frontier. Coach Gola in the newspaper talked about how they've got a talented team, they've got a good team. Brian's talking about how letdowns happen. Matt's talking about how VHS is in a different stratosphere right now. But the big news is that 2 weeks from tonight, a fortnight, we will be at Stockdale for DJ Martin's return. Ought to be nice. They've got a game tonight, Stockdale, and a game next week to work on everything but DJ Martin and Coach Snow. I read some stuff from him today or the last couple of days, and he's saying, hey, we're getting there. We're progressing. We're really starting to grow together, and lost some very tough games, some close games. So it should be a good game.
But when you have a player like that, Vance, and he comes back, he just energizes your ball club. The confidence grows because they have confidence in him.
I agree. Ball taken in the end zone.
Yeah, in the end zone, Vance, key word. And that return gets all the way out to the 42. If the runner steps into the end zone, it should be a touchback, right?
Well,
I thought so in high school.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, everybody kind of slowed down and stopped for a second. Everybody kind of just thought what we thought, but the whistle didn't blow, the official didn't say anything, and he just kind of kept going. And boy, did he keep going.
Yeah, you look at from where it would have been at the 20-yard line. Now it's at the 42. You got 22 free yards there if you're North High School. By no means should East have quit on the play, but oh boy.
Stars try to move forward this time even further. They've had a couple of critical penalties right when they were building momentum, and it just stalled their drive. And we have a half a minute left in this first quarter. What a beautiful night. It's just a stellar autumn night. The moon has slipped past the earth, and it's not coming back for 2 more weeks. So Halloween's going to have a perfect vibe. They crunch it up the middle. They're looking to get to midfield for the first time. And that will be the last play of the first quarter. The score is 10-0. East High School has a lead. It's homecoming. We're on the east side, and this is Bright House Networks Bakersfield. We'll be back in a moment with the second quarter.
Break out of the box with Bright House Network's Whole House DVR service. Our Whole House DVR service makes it easy for everyone to enjoy their favorite shows. With options to record up to 4 HD channels at once, store up to 120 hours of HD programming, and view across multiple TVs in your home, something no other provider can offer. You're getting more entertainment and more convenience in more rooms. That's Bright House Network's Whole House DVR service. Learn more at brighthouse.com/DVR.
Wow, I can't believe you just told me that.
Well, I felt that I should be honest with you about the type of stuff I'm into.
I'm into it too.
You are?
I'm all over it. Living room, bedroom, in the shower.
Well, do you want to do it here?
Now?
Well, yeah, it'll be awesome.
Okay.
Just as we come out of the break, it's number 32, Cody McWilliams, and he's going to go all the way for the touchdown. From the 48-yard line, he takes it 52 yards. And Vance, I don't know if you saw below us, but Coach Silver was screaming over here, and he's still screaming right in front of Brian Adams.
And they didn't even execute the play right, and it still worked. That's just how it happens sometimes, fellas. Sometimes the coaches, you got a play diagram, the kids mess it up right.
Wow. I don't think
that unbelievable.
Yeah. I don't
One
think
of the assistant coaches was just screaming at the players from North High before the play started as if things were just not set up right. Boom! Touchdown. I know the feeling. When I played basketball at Arvin High School, Gary Sedam, I'd have the ball in my hands and he'd say, "Oh, Vance, don't take." Oh, good shot, good shot.
Well, we played foothill, Matt, one year, and I thought Pat, the quarterback, Lance Gary, had told us it was the reverse. So I take off in motion for reverse, and I still got chewed out. I think I got a B or C because of that on my grade out. When I went for the reverse and James came around, they came with me. He went down the sideline and scored. And I told him, I said, hey, me messing it up got us a win. Got us a touchdown there. So it happens sometimes.
Happens to the best of them, but boy, North able to take
Man, that
huge
looked good.
advantage of it.
That looked really good.
Yeah, they broke, he was able to break a lot of tackles. McWilliams, the 6-foot senior, 200 pounds, weight room.
Back in this thing, the Stars are. They're trailed by a field goal. Nice defensive hold earlier, late in the first quarter, resulted in a field goal having to be kicked instead of a TD. And here comes the big fella to kick this off.
Can go out of bounds.
And it does.
Well, they didn't execute that one right. They had a hole down there. They're going to try to kick the ball down and recover it. And big fella's kicked a little too hard, but
here's another look at that touchdown.
Was right.
Well, this is a beautiful play. I mean, just great cut. Referee got in the way right on time.
Downfield blocking again, Vance. The wide receiver blocking down the field, able to give McWilliams a lane, and Superman dive at the end. Unfortunately, unable to bring down McWilliams for East High, but 10-7 with 11:50. The first play of the second quarter, Vance.
Well, they're going to kick it again, this time from the 35. And the speedy return men from the Blades move it up a bit.
See, Vance, right now, and Matt, there's a gap between 86 and 1. That's what they were trying to do, is put it right in that little gap and then come by and come at them. So they're going to try it again, see if they can recover it.
That's a 25-yard gap in between the return men and his
Coach, they get down there.
It's a big, big hole. Let's see what they do this time. The big fella goes up again, and this time he kicks it, and it's going to be taken at the 9-yard line. Let's see what they can do with it. Well, nice field coverage down there, and the return man, DeAndre Churchill, is brought down at the 26-yard line. Once again, everybody, welcome. If you're just getting to your televisions, this is Bright House Network's exclusive high school football game of the week. The only place in town you can watch an entire football game from start to finish. You're watching this Friday night on Channel 10. And if you're watching it any other time, it's going to be on demand, Channel 300, Bright House Networks. My name is Vance Palm. I'm joined by Matt Alvarez up on the scissor lift. And down on the grass, our captain, Brian Adams. 10-7, the Blades will go to the air. It is thrown and it is caught. Very nice pass and a sliding catch by Andrew Ramirez and a nice 16-yard first down, just like that.
That's a thread the needle kind of pass. I mean, he floated it right over the defender's hands, and Ramirez making another great catch. He's made a couple sliding catches tonight for the Blades.
You know, guys, there was some really good catches. Good corner route, slides down, secures the ball. The kid from North High had a guy all over him. He caught a ball. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to take some cutouts from this game, and I'm going to send this to Rick Neuheisel. And I'm going to say, Rick, this is how receivers are supposed to catch the ball.
Well, I guess we'll visit that now, since Brian seems to be pointing that way. For those of you that are not aware of it, Brian Adams, BHS driller at UCLA Bruin. Matt Alvarez attended the University of Arizona, so we are graced with two Pac-10/Pac-12 graduates. Matt's coach was fired 2 weeks ago, and the interim assistant blew up Brian's Bruins last night on national television. An ugly brawl ensued. It was just a bad night for UCLA, and we'll get Brian's thoughts in general right after this play right here. 2nd and 9. Play action, bootleg to the left. He's in trouble, throws it up, and it floats up there, and that got loose and almost picked off. Not what he wanted. Well, how apropos. Our man Brian Adams picks up the pigskin, tosses it to the official. Brian, let's get your thoughts on life at UCLA in the football department right now.
Well, I think if you're Rick Neuheisel, you have to say I got the greatest AD in the world, because he's come out publicly this morning and said that Rick's his guy. He's standing behind Rick. I think that if you're an alumnus, I know last night I got some text message from some former players and some calls. They're disappointed, and it's not the fact that you lost. It's the way you lost. It was a disgrace. I got to tip my hat to Arizona. Let's give them credit, Vance, because they could have thrown the towel in. But one thing they talked about is Coach Tisch. He rallied the guys around losing the coach. And then those guys came out and played inspired football. Sometimes things change. The offense loosened up, and the defense played great football last night. Now, UCLA, I've been talking about this for a few years. There's something wrong internally. And you can no longer, if you're Rick Neuheisel, blame the coordinators. And we'll talk about this punt.
4th and 9, the Stars hold the Blades in a high booming punt, but it's not very long. It bounces at the 30 and goes out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. Brian, finish your thought real quick.
One thing I keep hearing is they don't have the athletes. But guys, correct me if I'm right or wrong on this, each year they're having 2 or 3 guys drafted and guys starting in NFL as rookies. So you can't tell me you don't have some athletes. There has to be some problem of taking the athletes you have and conveying what you want them to do on the field. He talks all the time about we had a great practice, we executed in practice, then you can't execute in games. You know, that's the coach. He's fired 2 offensive coordinators. He's changed his offense to the pistol, and now what do? He has to take some responsibility for this, guys. It's on him. You can't blame players anymore. You can't blame your coaches. It's him. And he has to figure out what's going wrong in his system.
Brian Adams, thank you, Captain. Great to have a full report from a former Bruin as the Stars are moving up the field. Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, didn't he fire Norm Chow? I mean, one of the great offensive masterminds in the history of college football.
He didn't fire Norm, so say. They say he just squeezed Norm out.
Gotcha. 2nd and 5. We got a nice little game brewing below us down here as the Stars, with 9.5 left in the first half, got a nice 5-yard gain on a 1st and 10, and now it looks like they may plow their way to a first down again. So the North High crowd kind of starting to get going here and clap a little bit and get behind their Stars. Something brewing here.
Well, here you go, Vince. I mean, they forced a punt from East High, so the way that they were able to move the ball, I mean, they got a big play from Cody McWilliams, their running back. If they could just burst another big play, they're going to be in the lead here as we enter under 10 minutes left to go, or under 9:20 left to go here in the second quarter.
Jalen Roy comes in, big number 40. He's going to play in the slot. We have one lone back behind Howard on a 1st and 10. They stay on the ground. They bust it right up the middle. Boy, explosive, just right up the gut. That's an 8-yard gain on first down.
You know, fellas, right there, way to hit the hole with the back right there. Well, let's talk about North High. What we've seen so far this year with teams that got hit in the mouth, they have not been real resilient to take the test. North took a punch. They came out, like you said, they forced them to a field goal, 10-7. They got the ball back again in this last defensive series, and now their offense is getting some confidence, and they're going to work.
Tell me you don't see a little kick and a step in that offensive line. It's a nice little battle right here. Hey, up the middle again, a nice 9-10-yard gain, and they're in North High territory. Now, normally, for our audience at home, you hear us as the analysts and announcers talk about the guys working behind the camera and in the studio and in the truck and on the grass. Tonight's director, the Godfather, Zachary Flores, is a proud alumnus here at homecoming tonight of East High. So in my right ear, I'm hearing, hey, good, hey, nice, oh, hey, all right. 1st and 10. North High tries to go up the middle here on a run, and that's Brody Smith. He gets hard up the middle and no gain there.
And Vince, on that note, I know I'm getting old because he was a student here as an intern when I was starting off doing this business, and now he's the director and has a kid. So, Zach, you're making me get old, buddy.
Below 8 minutes. I won't even comment on the subject. Brian was a ball boy for my basketball team at Cal State. So how old am I?
Older than me, that's all, Vince.
That's right. I formation. Exciting times here in Kern County. Renegade football, the whole Renegade athletic department really starting to kick it into gear. CSUB, the men's soccer team playing very, very well.
They play UNLV tonight. And on Sunday, they play the only undefeated team in the nation, number 5, New Mexico, at CSUB. So if you can get out there.
A lot going on in Kern County.
I'll be there announcing.
Matt Alvarez.
The voice. No, just kidding.
Matt, you need to build up some confidence, man.
Well,
3rd and 5.
Looked like a lot of jumping over there on the far side.
Yeah, the left side of the line. Didn't happen.
Oh, yeah.
And didn't matter either. There's a big play out there by Brady Wiley, and Brady Wiley comes in and makes a big stop. So on a 4th and 5, now let's see if North High wants to take a gamble here. I don't think they're going to, though.
They brought in a whole new unit. Looks like they are going to punt, but you see Wiley. Not sure why he's not punting tonight. I'm going to have to ask him about that after the game, but looks like North will get into punt formation with the big man, number 66, A.J. Heath. the era deep to return.
They
It's a
fake it. They go up the middle. Will they get it? He's going to have to battle for a couple of more yards, and he does. It looked like he was stuck in a mire of traffic, and he got out.
Well, you know, if it wasn't for a bunch of arm tackles by the East defense, I mean, they had him wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. You see 1 tackle, 2 tackles, 3 tackles, 4 tackles.
Wow.
I mean, 4 tackles on a 4th and 5. You've got to be able to stop that.
It helps that it's Brody Smith, a man familiar with the rock in his hand. That was nice.
It really was. You know, good execution, and then Brody Smith, let's give him some credit, just his extra effort. And he did a great job of running on that. We're going to get a timeout right here at North High, and Asai's going to talk about what he wants to have happen. So, great job right now for North. Like I said, I'm really impressed with these kids. You know, give this group a lot of credit, fellas, for just not bending. I mean, not breaking. They bent a little bit, but they did not break. And, you know, they're driving right now with a chance if they can put 7 on the board, take the lead. So, a lot of heart from these kids. They're right here in the thick of the battle. And, you know, again, we've seen in the past where they might have folded. So give Cy and his crew a lot of credit and coaching staff that they have these kids playing at that determined level.
I agree 100%.
A very resilient group, this North High team. I want to go back to the brawl last night, Brian. I mean, the kid dressed up as a referee, and then he streaks across the field, and all of a sudden a brawl breaks out. Here's the story I wanted to tell you, though, Brian. I think I'm the only person in America whose 2 schools that I attended after high school were involved in a football brawl. Southern was involved in a brawl. 41 players got suspended last Saturday. Arizona involved in a brawl last night.
1st and 10, I formation for fumble, 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 fumble. Can you believe it?
Well, now you got to have that sudden change, fellas. Your defense will come out and say, hey, let's get the ball back. You know, after you do a great execution of the punt, fake punt, and then you come back and you mishandle a snap and they get the ball. But see, you got to have your defense hustle out right now and have that energy to say, we're getting this ball back.
Well, it was Brady Wiley who made the stop on the 3rd down that forced the 4th down for North High School. He's the one who jumped on the ball. East comes out 4 wide here.
Wow, what a turn of events as we were starting to pump up that North High School squad. Big turnover. Now the ball is almost picked off there. So, Brian, you said it. We got to keep their wits about them, realize there's a lot of football left, and get that offense back on the field.
And they almost did it right there where you jumped that route, that little hitch, and that would have been one to the house if he'd have been, you know, he could have grabbed that one. But great job right there by the corner. You know, number 18, Daryl Baker. Awesome job right there on that corner.
5.5 remains in this first half. East leads by a field goal, 10-7. Really good football game developing here on Bright House Networks. They're going to go to the ground, the Blades. It's to the left side, in between the hash marks. A gain of about 3 or 4 yards. And the ball was handled down there by Gio Seja.
Short for Giovanni. I'm assuming.
3rd and 7.
Another big 3rd down here for the East Blades. North has been able to, as Brian said, bend but not break. Let's see if they can be resilient enough to hold East to a punt here.
5-man front for the Stars. Scrambles, got to get out of the pocket. Makes a couple of nice nifty moves, but can't get past them, and that's not going to cut it. They don't get the 1st down. So what a nice job by this North High defense. Just as the captain said, they got to get on there and make it happen.
I think that Rojas, though, Vance, after throwing 7 interceptions last week, may be a little bit gun-shy to throw it into traffic, especially after 2 plays ago when he threw it, it almost got picked off. He might be a little gun-shy now. Takes the sack, loses the yard. It's going to be a 4th and 7 as Leo Garcia sets to kick it away for the Blades.
Clay Cottle stands on his own 14 for the Stars. High snap, deep snap, way over his head. He's running for it, and that's Garcia. He somehow gets off a pretty decent punt, and it bounces off an East High Blade. Thank goodness it didn't bounce off a North High Star, or that would have made the highlight reel for sure. I hear a lot of whistles. Is there something that's gone awry?
They're saying that the ball is going to be down where it hit the East High Blade. I believe that was number...
Wow. Well, boy, you got to hand it
Well, that's great composure.
to
I mean,
Garcia.
yeah, to have composure like that, not just to get the ball and panic when the snap goes over your head, but instead to get it, regain his form, still get the ball off. Pretty nice punt. I mean, it's going to be down at the 38-yard line.
I mean, that is a really good punt under that circumstance.
Oh, man, just think about it. You got to grab it, turn, and take one step, maybe two, and then kick it under duress because two guys came there. So great job on the punt. You know, and that's when you're if you're the North High group, you're concerned now because that punt's in the area where it could hit one of your players. I mean, that could have been disastrous for them, but they got the ball back. Great job by the defense, and Darrell Baker, the corner, made two big plays.
Let's see what happens. Howard hands the ball off. They stay on the ground, and smothered as Clay Cottle. It gets maybe a yard or two, and nice little autumnal breeze starting to roll through the east side.
You know, Brian, when you watch game film and you see a snap that goes over a punter's head, you have guys going every which way. The assignments are lost. I mean, if there's a punt return on, there's nobody where they need to be. I mean,
Exactly.
The return guys don't know whether to try and get the ball on the kicker side, or they don't know whether to drop back. That's one of the most crazy plays in terms of coaching and drawing it up.
An I formation. They burst through the middle. He's trying to get to the outside. Will he be able to do it? What a nice run this is. Cody McWilliams looking to get to the end zone, cuts back and gets up to about the 7-yard line, right up the middle of the football field.
Well, McWilliams had that big run for a touchdown there, and he has some speed. You notice when he gets to the sideline, he's able to accelerate and pick up big plays. But I like the way McWilliams and Brody Smith run. They run hard, they run smart, and they secure the ball. So great job right there, getting to the point of attack, open up a big hole. Now North High is in that distance where they got to punch this in, though, fellas.
Well, they have plenty of time to do it with 3:05 as McWilliams just able to outrun the defense and finally pulled down around the 7-yard line.
Oh, big hit in the backfield. Big hit. Thrown him for a loss. And again, Brady Wiley, and this time Hector Sherman comes in. But a big yard-chomping run by the North High School offense. And, you know, you think about it, 2 minutes ago, they had a big fake punt, get the first down, timeout, then they have a bad snap. The defense has to come on. They hold, and then boom, just like that, they get a nice 50-yard run. There's a timeout now on the field, and I believe that's also going to be taken by the North High Stars. So with 2:35 remaining here in the first half, East High leads by a field goal, 10-7. I'm Vance Paul, Matt Alvarez up here with me, Brian Adams down there. The loyal, faithful UCLA Bruins sporting his UCLA gear tonight in support of, if nothing else, the university.
Well, you support the players, because what you really feel bad for, Vance, is when you go to UCLA, you don't go to UCLA with the expectation you're going to be the bottom of the Pac-12 or Pac-10. You go to the expectation that you should be competing for a Pac-10 championship.
You're right.
And that you're playing, because you're having guys go to the pros. Again, you know, I'm a little perplexed that he's like 8 games or 6 games behind Darrell, and there's no pressure from the AD to get rid of him. But the AD was so quick to get at Darrell, and Darrell's had a better career so far at UCLA.
2nd and goal from the 6-yard line. 1 back, 2 receivers split way out on the sides, but they keep it on the ground. They're going to try to pound it in there, and it gets down to about the 1-yard line. So a nice, strong run. And there's no getting around the fact that this offensive line for the North High School Stars are starting to make their name known here in this first half.
Well, right now, they're just punching the East High Blade defensive line in the mouth, fellas. I mean, that's just flat out what they're doing. And the defensive line for East High has to make a decision that they're just not going to get pushed around anymore.
3rd and goal from the 1. I formation. Everybody thinks it's going right up the middle. And movement, flags, movement, and the North High School coaches are thinking, why doesn't that ball get snapped just a hair quicker? Well, it'll be 3rd and goal from the 6.
I mean, you've got to think that North is trying to get every advantage they can on the offensive line. You don't need it. You don't need to be leaning forward. You've beaten these guys up the middle all night. Just wait for the snap count. I mean, these guys are getting antsy, thinking, hey, we're going to score a touchdown to go ahead right now.
Well,
and
the
they can't
quarterback
hold
was
their
moving
water.
before the ball came, too. I mean, it just wasn't the line. He's moving before they're ready.
The snap just didn't come. But now it's back to 3rd and goal from the 6. Cottle, the lone back, behind Howard. They go to Cottle. Cottle grinds his way up to the 1-inch line. Another big run, this time by Clay Cottle.
So here we go again. It's going to be 4th and goal from inches away from Baker.
4th and goal from the 1-yard line.
Well, they got to kind of get going, too. They don't have all day now.
A $1:15 remains in this first half. I formation. Will they pitch it? Will they try to stretch it out? They try to jam it in and they don't get it. East High School stuffs it, and the defensive line answers at a critical point in this first half. North High gets all the way down there. They don't get it in.
Well, you've got to be careful. North only has 1 timeout left, so I don't think they'd be able to force them into a punting situation. However, this deep in their own territory, you always have to be wary of a safety, especially, I mean, look where they put the ball at, Vance. They have it at the 1-inch line.
How close was the ball to the goal line, fellas?
It was a lot further than where they spotted it, I'll tell you that, because his knee hit at the 2-yard line, and he wasn't even fully extended.
I mean, where was the ball at when it started? Was it quarterback sneak
1-yard line.
area?
No. Big hit at the goal line, and his forward progress keeps him out of the end zone. They pushed him back in there, but yeah, you know, fellas, for every reason, this is dicey territory back here.
Yeah, I think East is just going to be content with running the clock down as much as they can. Really, they're at the mercy of Cy Silver here because there is 1 timeout left for North.
You might want to call a timeout.
They only have to call one more play, fellas. I mean, East only have to run one more play.
So do you burn a timeout if you're North for maybe a fumble?
If you burn it at 2nd down, they still can go. I mean, they still can run the clock out. I don't think you can stop it. I don't think the numbers don't work out.
All right. And you're right. You're just going to shove it forward and keep it out of trouble. And
well, you have a timeout. Why don't you use it?
I think that's going to do it. They're letting it run. So
now, I might have called one just to go for a block punt. I would call it.
Well, it's 2nd and 9, so it's over. The first half, 10-7. Nice football game starting to get rolling here up on the east side. You're watching Bright House Network's high school football game of the week, 10-7. The homecoming Blades up by a field goal. Back in a moment with the 3rd quarter.
Bright House Networks is rolling out more ways to watch TV. We're giving you the freedom to watch TV anywhere you are on your choice of devices, computer, laptop, and most tablets and smartphones. Stay entertained with sports, movies, and more from anywhere. All you need is Bright House Networks TV and a My Services account from brighthouse.com. It's a whole new way to watch TV, available at no extra cost to you. Learn more at brighthouse.com/myservices.
Wow, I can't believe you just told me that.
Well, I felt that I should be honest with you about the type of stuff I'm into.
I'm into it too.
You are?
I'm all over it. Living room, bedroom, in the shower.
Well, do you want to do it here?
Now?
Well, yeah, it'll be awesome.
Okay.
Welcome back, everybody. 3rd quarter action. North High School will kick off to the Blades. And this is what they were trying to do earlier, find a little gap, but this time it's caught out there at the 26-yard line. North High swarms, makes the tackle, and it was caught, and the original return was attempted
by Brady Wiley, Vance. Wiley was a bit of a force in the first half for the Blades, both offensively and defensively. You saw him make a couple plays on the defensive end, as a defensive end. And then, of course, he's playing tight end here offensively for the Blades. Getting some time as a kick returner tonight.
Interesting first half. We talked about it a little bit at halftime. And by the way, kudos to the touchdown club at East Bakersfield High School for hands down the best deep hit sandwiches we've had this year. And as the Blades try to string it out to the right side, North High defense has nothing to do with that. Say, no way, man. We're throwing you back for a few yards. Great job. Just want to finish that thought. The touchdown club at EB, we had the most delicious, savory, deep pit sandwiches I think I've ever tasted in my life. And they're having a fundraiser coming up November 19th over here at the Veterans Hall. So the touchdown club working it from all angles. And boy, I can't stress enough to you and all the guys in the truck how delicious that sandwich was. Matt, I'm sure you concur. Brian bought 2 of them. Goodness gracious. Well,
Yeah, very good sandwich, fellas.
Second and 15, they roll to the right side. He's in trouble, gets flushed out of the pocket. Fumble! Oh, he picks it up. Whew. Boy, look at this North defense, Brian. They're on it.
Well, since that first series, this North defense has been playing some really good football. Now, can the offense take advantage of this? And right now, the defense has to get off the field, get this team to punt it or get a turnover, and then let the offense take advantage. But great job so far.
Yeah, I wonder what was said in the locker room. I mean, obviously this defense had to go in with their heads held up high, having only given up 10 points to this somewhat potent East offense. I mean, they were potent to begin the game, but North's defense has done a great job. It's going to be 3rd and 15. See if they can hold them here.
Rojas drops back, throws it out to the right. It's a screen play, and it's set up very well. Some good downfield blocking, but well short of the first down. It's set up nice, but a defense from North did a really good job.
Yeah, they sure did. You see the linemen come in unimpeded, and then Vieira takes it, but there's too much downfield presence by the North Stars as they had the defensive back, the strong safety. I mean, everybody just collapsed in on that play, able to hold Vieira to just a 5-yard gain, or a 7-yard
That young lady they just showed in the shot right there, remember her the night a few weeks ago when the game was canceled for lightning? She was set up, had all of her equipment out, and the athletic director came over and said, hey, we got to go. It's like, what? 4th and 7, a booming high punt, and it's going to be returnable, taken at the 27-yard line, looking for some room, and just lost his footing is Cottle. Cottle trying to set it up, but finally had to change directions and lost his footing. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the North High Stars, and let's see. This is the team that marched down the football field at the end of the first half and had a fake punt and then another big big run. They brought them down to 1st and goal from like the 6 or 7. They couldn't punch it in. Let's see if they have kept that momentum.
Well, they've had a lot of success going off tackle on that left side, so let's see if they go back to it.
1st and 10, one back. Behind Howard, they go right up the middle. Boy, those pads are popping. We're 60, 70 feet up on this scissor lift, and you can hear them through the headsets.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Vance, a lot of hard hits going on there. I mean, it's a big game for both teams coming off losses last week, of course, trying to put a W up in the W column. As you see McWilliams straight up the middle, and he gets tackled from behind. A great block there by number 66, A.J. Heath. It's going to be 2nd and 9 here, Vance.
I formation for the Stars. Ball's on their 31-yard line. And Cottle met, but he bounces out. No, it's not Cottle. Can he get away? That's McWilliams, and he's thrown for a big loss. So a nice job by that Blade defense there.
And that's the cardinal sin, Vance. I mean, once you're hit like that and you got to run, as we have an injured player here, looks like number 58 for the Blades. That's going to be Javier Hernandez. I think Hernandez was actually hurt earlier in the game, Vance.
He was.
Yeah, he's got his left hand extended. But that's the cardinal sin. And, Brian, I think you can agree with me in that McWilliams, what he does is he runs backwards, runs away from the play, as you see here on the replay.
Yes, right there, he tried to pound up the middle. It wasn't there. He decided to try to bounce it out and make something happen, And, again, for the average player, they'll tell you no. But we see it from time and again where, you get a real good back, at a certain level like Reggie Bush used to do in college. he'd be able to balance it out and make something out of nothing. But that's a situation where, especially when you don't have any kind of passing offense really, you just want to get as many yards as you can, run up the middle, and if you get a couple yards, fine. If you get 0, fine. But you don't want to put your team in a 3rd and 15.
Nice play by Johnny Ortiz out there. Ran him down, threw him down. So we have an injured East Blade down on the field right now, and it's confirmed that it's Johnny Ortiz, and he is not moving, just really taking his time. The trainers are down there. They want to see if they can get him up. It looks like he's going to come up. He does come up, and
he's advanced. I mean, he looks like a zombie. He's got a knee brace on his left knee. He's got his arm wrapped up, his left arm, and boy, that's unfortunate there for East because he's been out there a lot. I mean, it just shows how tough of a player he is. I mean, it really does. So Hernandez looks like he checks in at 6'3", 260 pounds, and he's a senior, so he's one of the leaders on this team, so it's going to hurt to have to miss him.
Oh, definitely going to hurt, fellas. I mean, how many high school kids that size walking around, and he's been very active, so the guy coming in has to be ready to play and keep it going.
I can tell you this. I know where 4 or 5 of them are. Wasco High School.
Oh, yes, sir.
I heard a lot about that game as this past week progressed. A lot of guys asking me, what about those Tigers? And I'd say, what about them? The real deal. Just today, talking to a couple of astute, well-known football guys here in town, asking me about the Tigers. 3rd and 18. They put one up. It's overthrows everybody. Haven't seen a lot of pass plays from the Stars, but that one was a safe pass in no man's land, nobody around it.
Well, so much for that Liberty-Stockdale game being close, as right now it's Liberty 34, Stockdale nothing. So that is a definite surprise here in the Valley.
Well, I can tell you this. Cal State men's soccer just won tonight, 2-1.
Oh, yeah.
So
that
nice
sets
big
up
win.
I mean, that sets up the showdown of showdowns on Sunday, Vance. I can honestly say that this is one of the biggest sporting events that has ever taken place in Bakersfield. It will be on Sunday. I mean, how often do you have – oh, boy. How often do you see that?
Heavy block out there laid by Gio Seja, but a legal block. Everybody, the whistle hadn't blown, no fair catch, so he laid him out. So, Brian, now Matthias Alvarez going on the record as saying one of the largest sporting events in the history of Kern County coming up on Sunday. Cal State men's soccer should be an exciting day.
Replay what you exactly said, because I kind of tuned him out for a second.
Matt Alvarez
I said,
saying that one of the biggest sport events in the history of Kern County will be played this Sunday. Cal State men's soccer. 1st and 10, 8-12. The Blades trying to make something happen. They fire one out. Beautiful route, beautiful pass, and that's a first down. It's caught out there by Edgar Fuentes. So now look at these two guys walking below us. Now that is what it's all about. Nice route. This pass right on the money.
I tell you, that was Fuentes ran the short out, and Tevin Beasley had the long out. Now, Brian, to go back to what I said, how often do you have a number 5 ranked team in the nation visiting a team in Bakersfield that's ranked number 22 in the nation? I mean, that's the argument that I have towards that one.
1st and 10, 7:41. Play action to the right side. He takes a look, floats it out. He waited and just kept running with him. His receiver kept running with him as well, and that's Nate Rodriguez. So they stretched it out. Quarterback, receiver, they just kept going. They had enough real estate, and finally he dumped it off. Nice first down. Moving the football now.
One thing we haven't seen since, I would say, the early part of the second quarter is a lot of flags, Vance. There's a lot of very disciplined play from both sides, as you see number 20, Rodriguez, able to pick up the first down on the far side. Fumbled the ball as he went out of bounds, but didn't really matter much at that point as East with the reels rolling again.
Another first down. They're really chewing up some yards right now. 7.5 remain here in this third quarter. Pitch out to the left side. A reverse of direction for Seja.
On cue.
Late hit.
Right on cue, Vance.
And that's unnecessary, and it's going to probably get under the skin of head coach Cy Silver.
Let's see if we can pick it up here on the replay as you see Seha tripped up.
Right there.
Oh,
Number
yeah.
66 came in and laid one in there, and that is A.J. Heath. A.J. Heath taking aim.
And that's unfortunate, like you said, Coach Silver not going to be very pleased about that one, as it gives East a new set of downs very deep in North territory. They're going to be lined up at the 16-yard line now.
They start the clock, 7:20 remaining in the third quarter. We're at East High School, homecoming for the Blades, and they have a scant 3-point lead over the upstart North High Stars. Pump action. They throw it to the corner. A lot of traffic down there, and it is incomplete, out of real estate. And
another
a flag on the play.
So I guess I'll keep my mouth shut about the flags. It's going to be a personal foul, roughing the passer, I believe. Yes, it was. And guess who it's on? It's on A.J. Heath. As you see at the very end of that replay that we just showed, the tail end of it, as soon as Rojas let the ball go, you could see A.J. Heath coming in like a bat out of you-know-where, and the ball had been long gone at that point.
Well, now Heath is being pulled out of the game right now, and Gavin Amos Lopez coming in. So
There you go,
he's going
Vance.
to have a word spoken to him from our coaches.
See, look, right here, Rojas gets rid of the ball, and then you see Heath just come in and level the kid.
So A.J. Heath comes off the sidelines and marches all the way down to the north side of the football field. Went to get some water. And,
Oh, here's a better angle, Vance, actually. Let's see if we can see it better. Rojas gets rid of the ball, and then boom. As soon as he gets rid of it, that's what the flag came in. And undisciplined penalties, 2 in a row, as soon as I mentioned.
he's in the proverbial doghouse. Heath is all the way down on the north side of the football field by himself on the trainer's table, and looks like the trainer's putting something on his shoulders. So 2 very costly big yardage penalties, and that puts the Blades in a nice situation here. First and 10, North. 7 minutes, 5 seconds remain here in the third quarter. First and goal, I should say, on the 8-yard line. Hard count, nobody jumps. Running play to the left side, but he switches back to the right side. Goes about a yard or 2 forward before he's brought down. Ryan, this North defense now being asked to really withstand a couple of big body blows.
Right now you're exactly right, Vance. If the North High team can hold right here, force a field goal, you're a touchdown extra point away from being ahead, but I don't think they can afford to really give up 7 on this series.
6.5. Rojas splits everybody out, sends them way out to the left side, triple on the left side. Play action, quarterback keeper, Rojas trying to get in, and he does. That's a touchdown, East High School. Nice play, well designed, well executed, and pay dirt.
Yeah, great determination by Rojas as he goes straight for the pylon on the far side, reaches out. You see they fake the handoff, and then Rojas takes it the rest of the way, swinging the ball a little bit more than I'd like to see, but at the very last moment able to reach it across as he's being pushed out of bounds. East goes up by 9 with the potential to be up by 10. It's 6:16 left to go, as it looks like we have some personnel problems. Somebody forgot to go out. Somebody wasn't paying attention on the sidelines.
Oh boy.
That's something that Coach Thorpe would not take very lightly to, I can guarantee that. E.J. Rodriguez on to attempt the extra point.
Snap is a bit high. They get it down, and it is good. So with 6:16 remaining in the third quarter, Bright House Network's high school football game of the week presents a 17-7 score. The homecoming Blades up by 10 over North High School, and North see what they can muster up here. They've had a couple of really good series, good possessions, good plays. They've had some penalties, though, tonight. And, Brian, you think about it, the first half they had a couple of penalties back-to-back. They just set them back. Then they have 2 here back-to-back. So it hasn't been like they've been interspersed every other 4 minutes or every other 3 series. They've been back-to-back, yardage on top of yardage.
Well, in a game like this, you just can't afford to give up 30 yards, on a drive. where they don't have to earn it. Unearned yard, well, actually about 25, because they had to cut it off short because of half just to the goal line. But, I mean, still, you can't afford to give up that kind of yardage in a game like this when yards is so important. You know, and give the defense credit. It might be 14, but, I mean, 17-7. But the defense has given our offense plenty of opportunity to be ahead in this game. And the offense has just not come through in that second quarter. After they scored, they fumbled the ball to the fake punt. And then they were on about the 1 yard line and couldn't get it in. So, you know, right now the offense needs to respond right now.
Well said, Brian. Here's the kickoff in the middle of the third quarter. It goes through his hands. So that'll be a first down on the 20-yard line for North High School. We don't know where we'll be next week, but we know where we'll be in 2 weeks. This is the first time I think we've actually announced where we're going to be, but it's in 2 weeks, and we'll be at Stockdale. The BHS Drillers will take on Young Martin and the Stockdale Mustangs, and the Mustangs have been dealt some bad cards if you're looking at their record, but pretty good football team, and they're going to be up for the challenge, I think. Here we go, 1st and 10. I formation for the Stars. Fumble, fumble, fumble. Oh my goodness, that could have been just an unbelievable poor turn of events for the Stars, but quarterback Austin Howard able to fall on it. Yikes.
Well, I'll tell you what, Vance, looks like Brian Adams hit it right on the dot, because the last I checked, or the last update that Zach Ewing has from the Bakersfield Californian, BHS is up 21-14 near halftime. So that game a lot closer than we thought it would be.
It's lonely at the top. 2nd and 11. They lost a yard, still in the I formation. Everybody's bunched in tight except for one receiver way out on the left side at the top of your screen. They go to the run, and keeps those legs rolling, but he just can't get over the pile. Not a bad start for Brody Smith, but there's so much traffic, so many bodies piled up, he can't climb over them.
Yeah, exactly it right there, Vance. I mean, he just didn't have the room. They didn't get those little gaps for him to run through, but he runs so hard, you got to enjoy it. But again, now if you're North, you're in that situation. Passing is not your strong suit. What are you going to do? You're probably in a passing situation, maybe a quarterback draw. I was listening to Dr. Holtz last night at halftime of that shellacking, and he talked about this is where you want to have a staple of draw plays or screen plays.
3rd and 10. Will we see one? Might be a good time for it.
Oh, a lot of movement.
It's a slant, doesn't get him anything. But 5 or 6 guys tackling him. Yeah, a lot of activity on that line. Thought I might see a flag come out. It doesn't. Clock continues to run. We're below 4.5. And North High School is going to have to punt. Not their best series.
Yeah, this was a gut check series for the Stars, and unfortunately they weren't able to counter the East score, and it looks like they're going to have to punt. It's going to be, is that 66? I believe that's Heath once again back to kick the ball, and then Vieira deep to receive for the Blades. So the Blades will go on offense looking to capitalize again.
The punter is Art Patino. So Patino boots it up to the 48 for a fair catch. So 3:57 is what's left here in the third.
And Vance, I'm going to respond a little bit to Matt on a couple things. Why we got this break. One, the reason why I was telling you about the game being close, Matt, is because when you're not challenged for 3 or 4 weeks, it's just very hard to be ready and to be hitting on all cylinders. And then 2, we'll talk about after this play.
Be interested to see what the score is later in the game. See if they get those cylinders going, or if Frontier is able to hang in there. Coach Cornford, one of the best. I formation, here come the Blades. Coach Thorpe and his Blades, and Coach Van Horn, the offensive coordinator, saying, hey, we want to be discussed with those teams in the future. And that's a play that'll help them get there. Big first down. They break out and just bust it.
You see Vieira able to, or no, check that. That's not Vieira. That's Seha. Seha able to break a couple tackles there and then just dragging defenders all the way down to the 36-yard line. That's another East first down. So pick up right where they left off after the last series, Vance. They scored 7 last time they had the ball, trying to do it again.
We'll talk about gut check. Now it's gut check time for the North defense, who's played pretty well, very well this game. And let's see what they can do. Seha again up the middle, shoestringer. They hang on to him long enough to fall down. That's Keno Gomez that keeps him from going too far.
Now, Brian, if you want to finish that thought, I would encourage you to do so.
So my other point, I was done with that point. My other point was the 22 ranked soccer team versus the 5 ranked soccer team.
Right.
That being like one of the greatest events in Kern County sports. You know, I think we have to look at, you know, there was some 1 versus 2 for national title with Taft and BC in the heyday, you know, so that's for the junior college national title. So I think there's some events that might rank a little bit ahead, but I do think for Cal State history in their school, that's one of the bigger events in their history.
3rd and 4, 2.5 remaining in the third quarter. We're at East Bakersfield. The Blades starting to methodically, slowly build up a lead if they can get a sizable lead if they can get in right now. But this North defense trying to shut me up. I formation for the Blades. Rojas drops back, throws it. It's caught. It's a nice pass, and it's a great reception out on the far flats. And that's going to be a big first down, guys.
Yeah, you know, it's surprising that Rojas, the way he has shown form tonight, and the way he has just put balls into you know, very tight situations. It's just great to see him succeed tonight after throwing 7 interceptions. It makes you wonder, like, what happened last week? I mean, was Foothill's defense just that good? Were they that locked into the receivers? Did Rojas just stare his receivers down too much? Because he's having a great night tonight for the Blades.
1st and 10. Oh, what a nice piece of running right there by Seha. 1 move here, 1 move there, and that went from a 1-yard gain to an 8-yard gain with 1 move. Watch this, everybody. 1 move there. There's a nice move. Boom.
Yeah, great blocks again on the outside of the line by Casey Edwards, number 55, the big 6'4", 250-pound offensive lineman. They got some big ones on here, Vance. I mean, they got 6'3", 6 foot, 6'4", 6'3", 6'3", 6'2". I mean, East has no shortage of height on their team.
Gravedigger, are you calling anything yet?
Man wide open in the end zone. Oh, he had Whitey wide open, and I'm sure when they look at the tape, they'll say, hey, what about this cat? 3rd and 4.
The Gravedigger does not have his nails out yet.
Okay.
There is still 1 minute and 8 left, and there's I mean, this is just a turnover or mistake away from being a 3-point ball game, as there's going to be an official's timeout, and it looks like Heath is going to come off the field once again.
He's bleeding, they're saying.
Oh, okay.
For those of you that have no idea what we're talking about as far as the Gravedigger, last week Matt was quick to get the hammer and nails out against BCHS because Wasco was pretty much dominating that game early in the third quarter, as we see a pitch to the left side, and North holds them. So Brian tapped into an old Clint Eastwood reference.
Oh, Vance, I mean, you said that early in the third quarter, Wasco put that game away from the first time they touched the ball with the, what was it, a 70-some-odd yard run by T. Harina, and then they were able to force BCHS to a 3-and-out, and they scored 2 plays later. I mean, that game got out of hand early, as you see E.J. Rodriguez lining up to kick the extra point, or not the extra point, the field goal, rather.
Oh, Brian, here we go again. The North somehow keeps them out of the end zone. The snap, the hold, the kick, and this is up, and it's good, but it's not 6.
Hey, your touchdown, a field goal away from tying it up. Great job again by the North defense. They just have not broken, and give them a lot of credit, and give the coaching staff credit, because you lost last week, you're getting punched in the face, and you're not falling down. And let's see now if they can get something going on offense.
So they're down less than 2 touchdowns, so it's 20-7, 26 seconds remaining here in this third quarter. And a little bit of a breeze coming from the canyon. It's kind of starting to feel really, really nice. However, when you're 80 foot in the air in a scissor lift, we're getting a bit of a sway. And I've got Matt Alvarez, looks like he saw a ghost. Dude, let me tell you, this is nothing.
I know when we go up to Tehachapi.
No, we don't go to Tehachapi. We called a game. We called a game at Highland on one of these things a few years ago. And I thought Kevin Keys was going to jump off just so he didn't have to stay up here anymore.
We are on an embankment. I mean, the visitors' stands, which is oddly enough the press box side here at East, the visitors' stands goes up an embankment. We're actually down the left field or the right field line of East Baseball Field. I think it's Carpenter Field is the name of the baseball field here at East High School. We are on the right field line.
And that's Ned Permitter's cousin.
Oh, big names. Big names being thrown around here.
That camera angle that you're looking at right there or getting is from the scissor lift we're on, and here's the kick. This will be returnable. This wind's going to knock that thing down to about the 5-yard line and looking to build up a wall on the right side. Can he get to it? He does get to it. A couple of nice moves. Big hit, though. A lot of contact, so a nice run by Cottle, and he's brought down out there by DeAndre Churchill, and it'll bring up a 1st and 10 at about the 20-something. Nice move, nice hit right here, though. Watch this.
That's when he gets spun around.
Boom.
And yeah.
They got to get a good play on first down, fellas. They had a fumble last time. They really haven't got anything. They need a good 5-6-yard play on this first down.
1st and 10. Let's see what they pull up here, Captain. And
my least favorite play in passing.
So they go from what Brian had hoped is set up for a good start there. It goes to a play that aggravates him a little bit. And Brian, for our viewers that maybe just are only watching this game tonight because it's their Stars and Blades kids, why does that aggravate you?
Well, again, I know why people do it. I understand the theory behind it. But again, I mean, I think a lot of this who you throwing the ball to. You know, with your BHS, you can throw the guy, and he can make a guy miss. You got to have guys blocking. You know, sometimes I think you can just go to a simple one-on-one. See at the far left, he drives off 5 yards. You throw a nice strike to him. That's a 5-yard pass. And
trying
here
to get
goes the sideline for Brody, and he's able to pick up 5 yards. See, that's what I was talking about. First down, they get one of those. Now you have 2 more downs to pick up 5 as opposed to 1 to pick up 5, and they haven't shown the ability to really pass the ball yet. And it's one pass plays that you know you don't see a lot here in high school in Bakersfield. The games we've done is that hitch. It's an easy pass. It's an easy throw for the receiver and the quarterback.
Great point, Brian. Brody Smith did get 4 on that, but it's still a very tough 3rd and 6 from their own 30. Austin Howard, the quarterback, has the I formation behind him. Hard count, they don't jump. They go right up the middle with it. But a big tackle right at the line of scrimmage and a nice play out there by Jerry Lopez. Lopez on the point of contact. That'll do it. When we come back, 4th quarter here at East Bakersfield, where the Blades lead by 13 over the North Stars on Bright House Networks. Bakersfield.
Bright House Networks connects your devices with our services to make your life easier. Like being able to watch TV on more screens or set your DVR when you are out and about. You can also manage your home phone calls and messages and even have voicemails delivered to you instantly via email or text message. Our apps and downloads let you stay connected 24/7 with your smartphone, computer, and tablet. With Bright House Networks, control is in your hands. Visit brighthouse.com/myservices.
Wow, I can't believe you just told me that.
Well, I felt that I should be honest with you about the type of stuff I'm into.
I'm into it too.
You are?
I'm all over it. Living room, bedroom, in the shower.
Well, do you want to do it here?
Now?
Well, yeah, it'll be awesome.
Okay.
We start off the 4th quarter with a punt and a flag, and it's a nice return. Let's see if it holds. Looking for some more ground, and he's going to get it. Oh, a big block downfield.
That's coming back. That's just a good exercise.
Tanner Vieira runs it back, but right comes the official. He's waving them all back. Right in front of him, he threw the flag, and I think it was going to be an illegal block. What do you think, Cap?
Oh, yeah, that's just a good exercise right there. That's just a nice little 40-yard gasser, 60-yard gasser, because it's coming back. There's a block in the back by the return team. That's kind of why he's able to cut up the middle and get going.
Well, I guess the band got a bit of a exercise as well, as did the fans that jumped to their feet.
See, everybody.
And North High School gets a reprieve, and they're able to say, hey, all that noise means nothing. Block in the back. And I don't know if we caught it. If we did, we'll show it. If we didn't, we won't. Started off the fourth quarter, and our replay man, Dave Farnes, is going to roll it for us.
Let's see. Right there. Yep.
Yeah.
Right there. That was on number 3. Check that Andrew Ramirez, the guilty party.
And it was just enough to keep the tackle from being made, so the call had to happen. Good call. Here we go. Another start to the fourth quarter right here. Pass play. Lobbed over the middle. Oh, and a great, great cut. He saw it coming, and can you say 2 for 2? I think that gasser is a passer.
74-yard touchdown, as you see Beasley.
Here comes a penalty flag for celebration. I think he took his helmet off.
Oh, man. But he's off the field, though. Isn't he allowed to once he's off the field?
Well, I think he's down. You have to still be in the box.
Oh, I gotcha.
That's the Miami J.J. Stokes rule.
Gotcha.
Back in the late and early 90s, they would take their helmets off every time they scored, and then the NCAA decided that that's not what they wanted to see, and so high schools adopted it. So you have to do all that, keep it.
Your man J.J. started all that?
No, we followed that from Miami. Miami was doing it with Copeland and all those guys, and so we started doing it on the West Coast. You saw guys start doing it. Johnny Morton, J.J. Stokes, and a few of us. We would pull off the helmet and show your face. So
well, there's Tevin Beasley showing us that he has got it. Nice pass play, and what made it happen is before he even caught the ball, he made a move. He saw the defender coming, made the move to the left before he had even caught the pass. So by the time he caught the pass, he had already made his slant to the inside, and it was just off to the races. So they had a punt return called back, and then the first play from the line of scrimmage, boom.
Well, the pass was floated.
Right.
So because of the flotation of the ball and being slow, he had to adjust to come in to meet the ball, and that's what allowed him to make that move. Had the ball actually been thrown on target with the way you teach it, he'd have went right into the safety.
You got it, 27-7, and so the air is out of the balloon over here on the North High side. They thought they might have a little bit of a lucky break there with the penalty from the
Gravedigger?
Not quite yet, Brian.
Okay.
I'll give North one more drive.
Okay.
Let's see what they do with this drive, if they can muster any sort of offensive output, which they've been hard-pressed to do against this East defense, who's actually played pretty well tonight, given their youth. We'll see what North does here, and if they're unable to come away with any points, then the grave digger might have to bust out the nails here.
So if they don't score on this, the nails are out.
The nails will be. I got them by my side, Brian. I'll have the nails by my side.
Have you put any in the coffin?
No, not yet.
Not
yet.
me.
Well, so there's not even a lid on the coffin yet.
Because Vance says, you never know, Brian.
Hey, with Cy Silver running this squad,
exactly.
There's no hard work coming out, nothing coming out. You never know what's going to happen. A lot of football. 11:23 remains, an entire fourth quarter, and as all three of us have witnessed, North High. It's like that team that they're a couple of good plays away from kind of finding out who they are and realizing their identity. And like Brian, we saw that early in the second quarter, they started coming out in the line, popping up to the line of scrimmage. That offense started moving guys down the field. So we'll see what happens. The ball is going to be pretty good field position. Taken at the 30 by the tank. And the big boy just lowers it, says, "You want me? Here I am." Something's going on down there. and the ball was taken on the kickoff by A.J. Heath, and Heath just lowered the boom.
The last thing I want to see is another brawl, Vance. I mean, after last night and after Southern and Arkansas Pine Bluff last Saturday.
Watch this play right here. So here comes Heath. He says, let's do it. And just bowls over one of his players, and then something was said late in the deal. Not quite sure what happened.
Oh, yeah, 40.
A little extra hitting.
So Jalen Roy knocks over Gio Seha. And then they stand up and say, oh, yeah, what about this? What about this? What about that? What about this? And then the coaches said, get off the field.
Was last night really a brawl?
No.
I don't see why not. People got ejected. Their punches thrown. There's going to be more suspensions.
A brawl.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah, there will be. I guarantee there will be more suspensions coming out of that one.
They pitch it to the left side. Read perfectly by the East defense, but he misses the tackle. And here come the Blades.
Boy,
here come the Blades.
Vieira read it right, Vance, like you said. He actually had a chance to pick that one off and take it to the house, but unfortunately for him, he's not able to make the tackle. And, of course, there we see Brody Smith taking it up 7 yards. Man, Vieira was all over that, and then he tried to wrap Smith up late, couldn't do it. Good tackle there at the 47, 48-yard line. It's going to be 2nd and 3 for North. It's coming up to the line. North will have it 2nd and 3 on the 48. 4 wide receivers split out. A lot of movement again as the ball caught on the right side of the field, and switching the ball in his hands in the middle of traffic is Darrell Baker on the catch, but he's going to pick up the first down.
You know, and Darrell Baker, he's made some good plays on the corner. Did a good job catching it. Have to secure that ball like you were saying, Matt. But just know one thing about Darrell Baker, he's the president of the Black Student Union. He gets good grades. You know, and this is what it's all about. You want a kid that comes to school, he performs on the field. You know, and this young man is just a quality young man.
1st and 10 remaining in the 4th quarter. They'll pitch to the left side, tries the stiff arm, tries 2 stiff arms, and finally he's drugged down out there. A personal battle going on between Cody McWilliams and Nate Rodriguez. They were just going toe-to-toe as they shuttled down the sideline, over to the sideline.
Yeah, Rodriguez would not be denied on that tackle. As you see, he had a stiff arm right in his face, and it looked like it could have possibly even been a face mask going against the offense, but Rodriguez would never be denied, dragged him down by the jersey, and picked up a loss of 5 yards on the play. Look, you see, he's grabbing him by the face mask, and you can get called. We've seen it here on Bright House just a couple weeks ago.
Williams gets drugged down at about the 45-yard line. We saw an offensive face mask last week over BCHS.
Exactly. They can't call it if you do that.
I was shopping today. Had to pick up a couple things in the mid-afternoon Delano rush hour, and I happened to be in the electronics section at one of the big stores, and I was watching the special on my all-time favorite NFL player, Sweetness, Walter Payton, and they talked about how he was the greatest offensive stiff arm artist of all time.
Out of which school did Walter Payton go to, Vince? Quick trivia.
Arvin High School. Dropped.
You talk about securing the ball, Brian, is there you see once again unable to make the catch this time was Baker. Got a flag down on the far side, though. Illegal motion going to be called against North. Walter Payton, if I'm correct, went to Jackson State.
He sure did.
Out of the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Big rivals of my Southern Jaguars.
Brings up a 4th and 15. And let's see what Coach Cy Silver is going to do here.
Those are nails, aren't they?
That was not me, Brian, but yeah, sure sounded like him.
There's a big boot, and that bounces at the 15 and down at about the 13-yard line. So next week, a lot of good football games next week. It'll be interesting to see where the powers that be decide where we're going to be. Some good games next week, so it'll be interesting to see what emails and texts I get from our production boys.
Yep. Hey, Matt. Matt,
Yeah.
now you said you think there's going to be multiple suspensions. How many players do you think will be suspended?
That, you know, I don't have as much video, obviously, as the Pac-10 or the ESPN crew has, but what could come out of there, I mean, you already have 2 guys who have been suspended for at least a game. You could possibly have, I mean, in the Southern Arkansas Pine Bluff game, there were 41 players suspended, 41 total players, so.
That's a brawl.
Yeah, that was definitely a brawl.
They got more. I mean, they were throwing haymakers. A lot of guys in that one. You know, there weren't like there were a lot of haymakers thrown in this one.
Well, in the Southern UAPB game, there was more like the Miami and the Florida International game where people were swinging their helmets.
That's what I'm saying. So I mean, I think that's why I say I think they're different. But you know, one thing that and I'm not saying kids or players should go out and brawl, but let me give Arizona players some credit. You saw their whole team out there.
Exactly, and
UCLA's. And did you see UCLA? I told you we have some internal issues.
There you go.
They want to get back to the beach, guys. They want to get back to the beach. A nice play action roll to the right. It's thrown and it's caught out there. A nice pitch and catch. And, of course, it's Wiley that makes the catch. And Rojas looks really good out of the pocket. I like him out of the pocket.
He does. You know, when he rolls out to the right, he finds his receivers, and he's able to move and throw at the same time, and that's a mark of a good quarterback. You know, a lot of quarterbacks will stay stationary, will just use the pocket as their safe haven. When he gets out of the pocket, it looks like he feels really comfortable, Brian.
Comfortable out of the pocket, like a gentleman I ran into the other night came up and put his hands behind me and blindfolded me after the BC game. One Cody Kessler. Excellent out of the pocket. He was excellent in the pocket. Talk about excellent in the pocket. In the quarterback's pocket, where he drops back to pass, is the running back caught, thrown down, slammed to the ground. What a nice play that was.
Yeah, it's Art Patino back there making the play for North High School, and that's going to go down as a 6 or 7 yard loss. I think it's going to be 2nd and 17 here from the 20-yard line.
You know, Matt and Brian had a great chance to talk to Cody the other night. Surprised to see him, but he was at the VC game, came up and we were talking for a little bit, and it's interesting to get the insight of what's going on at USC and playing behind Barkley, and it's good to see him.
And there's a kid, an example. A kid, I'll tell you in a second about that.
2nd and 17, 6.5 remain here. Game not over. Rojas drops back, floats one across the middle. This one is caught, and it's going to be a first down, and it'll be at about the 38-yard line. Go ahead, B.
You know, they got guys wide open right now. Palmer was on, Jesse Palmer last night was talking about how come UCLA can't get a good top-rate quarterback when they're in Southern California. All these California kids, all these golden arm kids. Here's a kid who had desire to play at UCLA. You know, I talked to his parents and Cody. We got him down there. And Rick Neuheisel act like he didn't even exist. You know, so, I mean, these are the things that are happening at UCLA where you missed out a quarterback who's the backup to a better quarterback than anybody you have in your own system. He probably could have started for you.
No question. 1st and 10, triples out to the right. Handoff goes to the left side. He cuts back up, and that's Tanner Vieira gets 4 or 5 yards there.
Not a fan of Kevin Prince, I see, Brian.
It's not even about Kevin Prince. But, I mean, when you're getting a chance to get a quarterback of Cody Kessler's stature and you don't even go after him, and then when you finally offer him is because you heard he's signing with SC, there's problems in your evaluation process. And Rick Neuheisel, you're the quarterback coach. That's you.
2nd and 8. From the 40-yard line. They stay on the ground, and it's a nice run play. Big hit, but no wrap, and so he'll get up to the 50-yard line. Brian, these points cannot be argued. They're excellent points. For those of you watching here for the first time on Bright House Networks, maybe you're watching because it's one of your relatives that are playing here tonight. Brian Adams, recently inducted into the Bakersfield High School Football Hall of Fame. He was a superstar multi-sport athlete for the Drillers. Then he went on to play for the UCLA Bruins and some of the Glory Day football days they've had. So I've always enjoyed hearing Brian's insight on the Bruins. Matt worked in the sports information department at University of Arizona. Great athlete in his own right. So 2 very well-spoken, well-versed, and in the know Pac-12 guys. Look at this. Timeout taken by Marcus Rojas with 4:50 left, up 20. Something wasn't right. There's Coach Van Horn with the visor. And head coach Dave Thorpe looking for a victory here tonight. Not over yet.
No, overall, let's give North High some credit defensively. They played well. There's 27 points there, but they gave the offense every opportunity to either be ahead or be in this game. I think North High, I think don't put your head down. I saw some good things tonight that you can work on and take. I know that's hard to say when you've gotten beat, but, they've done some things that in the past, this was not happening with the North High program. So I think the North High program has the right guy in charge. I think Cy is the guy to go. And I think this coaching staff has something to build on, because they have the right attitude right now. And now you're just going to finish up with some pride and try to make some plays. Because anything can happen. You get a fumble, a turnover, the East is still passing, so who knows what can happen.
Wow, with first and 10
still
now,
going in the air.
Yeah. 1st and 10 here for East.
Fumble.
Just right on cue. Every time we say something tonight, it seems like it happens. The play after, I mentioned that there weren't a lot of penalties, and then bang, bang, a personal foul and a offside penalty, and now a fumble. But you know what? They picked up 2 yards on that fumble. Rojas is able to get it back and take it up the gut. Gain of a deuce.
That's a Van Horn offense right there.
Yeah.
Fumble for yardage.
He might have called that one.
Yeah. He likes to pass that ball and put up a bunch of points. This is not what he likes to do, but he likes to win too. So, great coach and great guy.
One back, stands behind Rojas. He sends Sherman in motion. They give it to that one back. And North High wraps him up, throws it down. North High still getting after it, still hitting hard, still going for it. Love to see it. Love to see it.
Here might be your rollout and your flood route right here, Matt.
On 3rd and 5, as we see the replay here, Seha. And the play gets called in. Rojas had an up and down night, more up than down, that's for sure. 2 receivers split way out to the right side. It looks like we're going to see Micah Flores in the game. Micah Flores in the game. Are they going to go to Micah? They are going to go to Micah, and it's caught. And he looks for some extra yardage, and Micah Flores comes in. 5'8", 150. Not your biggest target, but Rojas found him, and he caught it, took a lick, wanted some more.
Yeah, if you're Micah Flores, you might want to go out of bounds there. He picked up the first down, then he tried to cut it back inside. Took a good little pop from John Mello, number 20 on the defenses. You check a look at the replay here.
I like what Micah did. He caught the ball, he disengaged his legs, he knifed the ball upfield, got the first down, ran a clean route. I'm all with you, Micah. This is football. Don't run out of bounds like the punter boy.
Well, I don't know if you could hear it, Kern County, but one of the gloves just slipped right off Brian's hand. I don't know when the other one's coming off.
I've been quiet for 3 weeks.
And there's the reason why we have the concussion problem that we do in the NFL. And
Okay, all right, stop, just stop. Stop. 2:29 remains in this 4th quarter. It looks as though Eastside's going to wrap this up. I think the Gravediggers starting to get the hammer and nails going now. The clock continues to tick. Everybody way out to the left side. Vieira, the one running back behind Rojas. They pitch it to him. He looks for some upfield blocking. North High does a really good job. Actually, very poor blocking out on the flats there for the Blades.
Yeah, the wide receivers are supposed to have their 3 men, the cornerback and the outside linebacker. And, they collapse down so easily, it looked like, on that East High outside the protection, Brian.
The receivers just took the wrong step. They stepped upfield, and you can't do that when you're going to block that. You got to step over because you got to anticipate the guy coming in. It's not a difficult block, but if you take that wrong step, then it's almost impossible to get engaged on that block.
It's 3rd and 10 now for the Blades as Rojas has trips out to the right. He's going to take the snap, fake the handoff. Got plenty of time again in the backfield, and he finds his man. That's going to be number 20, Rodriguez. Picks up about a gain of 5, so not enough for the first down. It's going to be about 4th and 5, and they're going to let the clock roll unless Coach Silver elects to take a timeout. Let's see what the North High coaching staff does. They have all 3 timeouts. I mean, they're down by 20 points. At this point, I think they're going to be content to just get on that bus.
Live for another week.
Yeah, take a trip back to the 08.
And let's give their defense credit again. If we're going to see an attempt right now at a long
Hey, look at
field
this.
goal.
48.
Is that 48?
48-yarder attempted by. Oh, bad
my
snap.
goodness.
Bad snap. He falls on it, and we are going to be robbed of an opportunity to see a 48-yarder. And Matthias Alvarez up here just aggressively punching his own hand. Take it easy, bud.
Isn't this one of your kids?
Yeah, it is.
Ooh.
That would have been great to see him hit from 48 because he told me in the pregame he was hitting from 50. And, I mean, earlier this summer, Brian, this kid has progressed so much from when we started with him. You know, he's a soccer player here at East. He's got great form. He didn't have great distance, and now he has the distance. And, gosh, I would have loved to see him kick that one, but, you know, save it for another day.
Well, I know he's well coached, so I will concede that. He's well coached between you and your father.
Oh, boy.
Thank you,
Here we
Brian.
go. This before we get the playoff. We've got whistles.
You're welcome, Matt.
Still owe me lunch.
I do owe you lunch.
Your Bruins still lost.
Believe it
They
or
do
not,
it.
there's a timeout call.
And they are horrible, like I tried to tell you when I called you. And Vince, I have to say this. First, he didn't want to bet. He's like, I'm going to lose. I said, no, don't worry about it. I'll pay for it either way. I just want to just have
what
something
kind
to talk
of bet
about.
is that?
He didn't want to bet it first, and then finally he manned up and he took it, and I'm gonna owe him lunch this week.
Only Matt would make a bet that if he loses, he still has his lunch paid for him. Oh, my God.
No, he didn't take it. I offered
I
to
didn't
him.
take it at first.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Fumble, 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 fumble. Well, that is, that's too bad. That's just too bad. A good long run, and the ball just pops out of his hand, and
It is too bad, Vance, because McWilliams has had a great night. I mean, he's been one of North's best players thus far, and unfortunately just unable to hold on to that ball. You know, going through traffic, you really have to secure the ball.
Nice
And
job.
Brian,
Got
I mean,
stripped.
he's swinging it out there.
Yeah.
Like, they got stripped by Seha.
Oh, man.
And that's kind of been how the second half has been, guys. I think ever since they didn't get punched in on that goal line, things have gone a little downhill. They just haven't got the breaks. But again, I like what the defense did in their last series. They didn't just fold up and let everybody East score again. They fought and they've stayed fighting, and, you know, good luck to them the rest of the season.
Well, that'll do it. The final score is 27-20. On behalf of our directors, Zachary Flores, Bernie Johnson, Tony Arbus, Kevin Woolley, and Dave Farnes, it's a pleasure to have been here with you again. For Brian Adams, Matt Alvarez, I'm Vance Palm. Have a great, great weekend. For all of us here at Bright House Networks Bakersfield, good night. God bless.
Imagine the endless possibilities you can explore when you have Bright House Network's exclusive Roadrunner Lightning. It's high-speed internet service that can seamlessly connect all your favorite wireless devices so everyone in your home can accomplish more in less time. And our wideband technology has the bandwidth that meets your needs for online video, gaming, large file downloads, and any other possibilities you discover. Create an internet experience like no other with Roadrunner Lightning. Call today and get free installation. Learn more at brighthouse.com/lightning.
Wow, I can't believe you just told me that.
Well, I felt that I should be honest with you about the type of stuff I'm into.
I'm into it too.
You are?
I'm all over it. Living room, bedroom, in the shower.
Well, do you want to do it here?
Now?
Well, yeah, it'll be awesome.
Okay.
I love my Bright House Network's DVR. It's always there when I need it. And now I love my DVR even more, now that I've upgraded to the whole house DVR. I can record my favorite programs in one room and watch them on any TV in my DVR network, with options to record up to 120 hours of HD shows. More shows, more rooms, more flexibility, more love. Learn more about Bright House Network's whole house DVR at brighthouse.com/DVR.